Today we're going to talk about why amateur golfers don't improve. Amateur golfers don't improve because they try to hack the system. They're on the internet, they're on Instagram, they're on YouTube and Twitter trying to search for the perfect formula, the system that if they stick to it, that it works. There's a lot of great information out there, but when taken out of context, that same great information can actually hurt you. For example, when I start cooking and I want to try something new, I'm on YouTube and I watch 10 hours worth of different videos, smoking a brisket, whatever it is. And there's so many, and you look for that one video that says this is the foolproof way to smoke a brisket if you're a beginner. The problem with that is I'm sure the information is great, but if I take one little thing out of context, I can follow that video step by step and something dramatically can go wrong. The reality is, if I wrote down the steps and I stuck to it and I did it 100 times, if I smoked 100 briskets following any YouTube video, as long as it's just one, I bet you I will get a lot farther in learning how to smoke a brisket, than trying 5 different methods with 5 different videos. Golf lessons, golf improvement is the same thing. You've got to learn to understand how the great information that you find online can also hurt you when you take it out of context. It's so important to find a professional. You've got to go take a lesson. You've got to find a coach. And there's a big difference between taking lessons and coaching. A lesson is, a good example of a lesson is, let's say an LPGA Tour player or a PGA Tour player calls me and says, you know what, I'm really good when I have a plug lie in the bunker. I'm actually decent when I have a downhill lie in the bunker, but I struggle when I have a good lie in the bunker. And it's like, well, how could that be? Well, you know, it's below their standards. So they'll come take a lesson. They'll say, you know what, I want to come take a lesson, maybe a 4-hour session or 2 4-hour sessions or 4 2-hour sessions, a lesson on just hitting that specific shot. Amateur golfers take a lesson and they want to learn everything. They want coaching. It's like, what do I do for the next 5 years if I do this? And it's like, well, you know, you shoot 88, your average score is 88. There's a lot of things that we need to tackle. We don't even have time in an hour to figure out your goals and your plans. So understand the difference between coaching and a lesson. So, and I'm not saying amateur golfers or high handicappers shouldn't just take one lesson. If you want to take a lesson on how to draw the ball because you slice it with your driver, fine. Go take that one lesson and really, really work on it. Very, very important. Another big thing is you got to be realistic about your goals. And it's like, what does that mean? And it's not what other people tell you what your goals should be. It's what a professional tells you and guides you what your goal should be. There are different goals. There's a score goal. I'm shooting in the 90s and I want to shoot in the 80s and then shoot in the 70s, and great. But we also need to learn mental goals, which is extremely important. How to feel less nervous on the first tee. It's not even about hitting a good shot. It's about not being so nervous and scared. And here's a good example. Good bunker players aren't so nervous when they hit a ball in the bunker, even though they might have such a difficult shot and they might not get out. So it's not always oh, I hit it good every time, so I'm not nervous in the bunker anymore. It's when I go in the bunker, I have a process that I stick to that really helps me. It's part of being a good bunker player, a good golfer, is understanding how to feel over the golf ball. So you've got to learn, if you have a good process, you won't be as nervous because now you're thinking about your process. There's no room to be as nervous or afraid, if that makes sense. So have a process. Even if you don't hit the great shot or your best shots or you're hitting poor shots, if you stick to the process and you keep learning to feel the same way every time, that'll help you improve as a golfer. We all think if we start hitting good shots, we'll be confident and comfortable and we think we got it. That is far from the truth, because even the worst putters can make a 30-footer. Even the worst bunker players can hit it out of the bunker and even make it in the hole once. It's just that if you hit it in the bunker again, they're going to be very, very, very nervous. Another goal that we need to have is like a practice goal. I need to get to the putting green 3 days a week, do my drills, and I'm going to do this 30 times. And it's not about doing the drills correctly. It's about showing up, doing the drills, do it 30 times. There's so many times a member at the club will ask me, like, hey, you know, I'm really struggling with my 3-footers. And I asked them, okay, like I'll watch you hit a few putts. I go, your stroke looks decent. It just looks like you haven't hit enough 3-footers. And I'll ask them, let's try this for the next week. Let's get to the golf course 3 times and hit 25 3-footers. That takes 2 minutes. See if you can commit to that part of it. We all want to make more money. We all want to make more putts. But what's the process for us to get there? We spend so much time going to the golf shop and grabbing a new demo putter and doing this and buying a new putter. And it's like, before you do any of that, work on getting your practice in and understanding what you need to do. And there's a lot of drills out there. Again, that's where you need a professional. That's where you need professional coaching or a lesson, and say, okay, tell me exactly what to do. What do I need to do for the next year on my putting? What do I need to practice? What do I need to focus on? A lot of these goals, tips, process, warm up. I don't care if it's warming up at the golf course or your swing key of what you need to work on your golf game and practice. To sum it all up, whether it's goals, score, your swing mechanics, practice plan, what you're gonna do, if you take your business card and you can't write all of it down on the back of a business card, if it doesn't fit on the back of a business card, you're trying to do way too much. You're trying to go from 90 to 70. When the reality is you need to go from shooting 90 to 88 to 86 to 84. Your mind's got to be right. You've got to learn your process. So when watching this video, I hope you really think about what type of person you are. Do you write things down? I'd get out a piece of paper right now, start writing down your goals. Go take a lesson, go find a coach, go talk to them, and really treat them more like a mentor and really listen instead of trying to apply what you know from the internet and what your coach is telling you, kind of blend the two and try to hack the system. Thanks for watching. I hope this video helps, and we'll see you in the next one.